All right. We're live. I mean, it lags a little bit, so who knows when it actually starts. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, generally the first comment we get, it might be live now because it's been waiting. John, are we live, John?
Yes.
Somebody say something. The anticipation.
What's up?
Oh, there it is. Now we're live. With, I mean, fairly good Wi-Fi. Hey, everybody, how are you? We are here for another live. I know it's a little early because some of us got things to do, but check who's in the background. It's Ryan, and he somehow convinced Nate Sandbagging Booty to come on and finally join our lives. He's here, and what we get to show you is our shop. Well, his shop, our shop. I don't know. What do we call it? Is it our shop or is it your shop still?
It's our shop.
There it is. Nate's going to show you our shop. Nate, show us the back of your shirt.
Hold on, let me get that in full view here real quick.
Yep, there it is. How did you change? All right. It should have been that shirt. The shirt should have been in black. Just saying, black shirt would look dope. I'm saying. Anyways,
Next round of shirts, Mike. Next round of shirts.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. Ryan and Nick are down there. That's a big deal. They are in the actual official TBNation Outdoors Shop. You guys wondering if there's a shop? There is one. It's in Illinois though. It's pretty far away, but it's there. And they're in it. And we have a special boat back there. That one that's bright blue. It's kind of just taking up the background. Yep. There's anywhere you point it, it's back there. It's like unseeable. Kind of like a very revealing shirt on a, you know what I'm saying? Just there. It's one of those. It's a very revealing. It's just comparable. Yeah, it's just there. We want to give you a tour on what's been done. That is an electric only boat that's going to go to North Georgia for tournaments. And so a lot of people want to see electric only boats. And we want to show you them. And so let's get a tour, possibly. You guys ready?
I'm gonna unmute your mic, guys. Clear music.
Right.
All right.
Hey, we got those issues figured out, so we're good now.
Awesome.
All right, let me flip the camera around.
Now we lost the audio.
No, we're still here.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's just being quiet. All right.
It should be better now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So this is like a third generation tiny boat. I mean, this was been modified at least 3 times. It's been remodded. This is the third modification. The first one that we've done, but the original owner modded it. So modified John boats, like tiny boats, that's a big thing down there in Georgia, especially the electric only. And I'm just glad we're finally be able to get one of our kits down there. One of our builds, people can actually see what it's all about. Because, it's one thing to talk about, it's one thing to post it on social media, and it's another thing just to, look at it. And then, look at that bright blue camo. Yeah, look at it. Is it going to get wrapped?
Yes.
It's got a Garmin Force. Make sure he fixes the gain setting on that thing. Remember,
I can't really fix the set.
Yeah, he needs to fix that gain setting. Are those day boxes right next to the lid? That's dope. Is that what that is?
No, it's cooler.
It's a cooler or day box.
Ooh, I like it.
I think you would have liked the day box better there, but that's Blake's choice.
You can take your drink. You can take your cold drink on them hot days right out of the front. You don't even need to go anywhere.
The other side should have been a cooler, he had to have some thought for the broad locker. Never mind. All right. I get it. I see. What's that hatch right there, right in front of the box? I mean the pedal.
That's this one.
What one?
That's the cooler.
This is the cooler.
No, isn't there another one in front of it?
No.
That's a seat pedestal.
Oh, so there's not one right.
There's
okay.
a seat
All
pedestal right
I'm
here.
sorry, like the turf is messing with me. Like, I think there's a handle where there's not. All right, no, there's a butt seat there. Okay, I get it. All right. My
And
bad.
then he's got all of his lithiums up underneath of here in a tray for the trolling motor and his electronics. It's only like 95% done. There's still some stuff Ryan and them got to do in Georgia.
Yeah, I like the white powder coat, man. And that looks clean.
It looks
You're
really
putting that
good.
salt life in there. Thing looks like it belongs in the flats. So you gotta take that thing back to Georgia. They'd be like, "You got a place here, good sir."
We do.
The offshore is that way.
Daniel Norman says the boat deck looks like the Boise State football field. It's pretty funny. Blue turf football field. I love it. And if you guys are joining us on the live stream, make sure you comment where you're from, man. Give us a few thumbs up, helps the stream, but also make a comment where you're watching in from across the Tiny Boat Nation. So,
well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Blake can fish, and that is a fish catching machine right there. So he better be raking them in. Giving us some good pictures. Yes, indeed, there it is.
Him and his co-angler Charlie Dick are they won the TEC last year as well, the championship. So
yeah,
they know what they're doing down in Georgia.
They're definitely going to stand out.
Yeah,
it looks good though.
If you're a high-profile fisherman, like you're like one of the best in your league, do you really want a boat that stands out on the lake? Like,
yeah.
During the tournaments, you do. Maybe not during pre-fish, but during the tournaments, yeah.
You tournaments, you do.
It's intimidating, man. You got a guy rolls up to your spot, and you know he's the top dog.
All right, I just thought people would follow you and wait for you to leave. That's what they do with Butch Brown. They would follow Butch Brown all around the lake, and then he would speed across the lake, and then he would speed back just to burn him out.
By then, you've already caught all the fish.
They knew where his boat was. They're trying to find out all the spots. Yeah.
Awesome. I got the comments up on the Facebook group, guys. So thanks, guys, for joining for the from the Facebook Tiny Boat Nation Facebook group. I got you pulled up here. Our system doesn't allow us to see your name on our system, but got you on the phone so I can see. We got Chris Hankins, Fred Montgomery, Adam Ryan. Thanks for joining, brother. You should jump on here.
Yeah, Adam, you should jump on the live.
Goran, you're always on here, man. I love it. Mike Knudsen from Sterling, Illinois. Jared from Louisiana. Well, Ryan, you want to walk us through? I know we've been kind of poking and prodding on that boat, but you want to do a top to bottom? You want to start in the rear with that E-Propulsion and work your way to the front?
We can.
Yeah, man, your voice, as long as we're not talking, your voice, your audio seems to be doing pretty dang good.
Okay, awesome. So this is the E-Propulsion Navy 6.0. It's the newer version. As you can see right there, the newer model, I should say. It is a 9.9 horsepower electric outboard motor. And we did have to, what'd you do here, Nate? You had to recap that, didn't you?
Yeah, we just had the factory cap and then where we tied in. So we just capped it.
Yeah, we stuck a couple little blue lights in there.
Chris has still got to paint it.
Yeah, Chris is going to touch all this.
The front's got to be painted in the front when it goes back.
In the back. Rear hatch, we got the two 48-volt lithium batteries from E-Propulsion, but this is the old series battery. They don't have these anymore. I think they're discontinued or getting ready to be discontinued. The Flow-Rite premium kit's in here.
It's tight. It
is tight, but it is all in there. We got a battery charger back on this side. And he also had to have his little, I don't know if we can even see it, the bubbler, little bubblers down there for the live well.
Oh, nice, yeah.
With the two stones inside the tank. And we also have a rear seat post in the middle. And then here's his tank. Little coal tag holder, the splash guard in the live well. The little stone, we have one on each side. There's two stones in there. And then Nate came up with this genius idea for the net holder. That's obviously pretty important in tournaments. which just goes into the side of the wall. Just pull it out.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, I have no good place to put the net. I generally put it on the tiller.
Yeah,
or on the
and this
motorhead,
actually,
and I just let it hang on the motorhead. But that's we
and
should
it
be doing
holds
that
it
more
really
often.
well. Like the rubber piece in the handle kind of keeps that really tight in there. So that actually came out really good. And we got the switch panel. And over here is the rod locker. We went with no rod tubes in this one. We still have to tighten all this up. There's a light in there. But a deep rod locker. You can see this is like a 10-inch side, and then on that end it's 8 inches, right? So it's kind of like
Angle.
a triangle looking
Yeah.
lid. It's pretty cool. All
That's
black.
good. I like the offset.
Yeah.
I think it complements the boat's natural contour better when you do that.
Exactly.
It actually looks.
It's like a
actually
good
is
use
just
of
more
space.
spacious versus trying to make a perfectly symmetrical locker hatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Middle.
It took Nate 30 boats to finally do that.
This was kind of out of necessity. I won't name any names, but
That might have been a measuring fault on my end. But Nate the Great got it done. So then in here he's got all of his more tackle storage, but also his lithium batteries are up under there for the trolling motor and all the accessories. And we mounted all the electrical stuff on the sidewall for now. His black box, fuse block, battery on-off switch.
and nothing's
Circuit
complete.
breaker.
It's 95% there.
Yep. So we still have some touch-ups to do. And then up front, the powder-coated white recessed foot control tray came out really nice. And then Nate fabricated
Have you guys taken this thing out in the sun yet?
No, not yet.
You better have some good sunglasses. That'll blind you.
Dude, it's been cold. It's been cold over here.
You look at that thing right in the broad daylight, flash. I don't know.
Yeah. It'll look good though.
Yeah, for sure. It looks good.
I like the fish finder tower as well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it came out really nice.
You gonna sell those?
We'll talk about it.
Yep. That looks like
But
an item I need.
obviously cooler. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might need to make me one of those.
last year Anthony painted the outside. So it's got the blue. Well, Chris painted it, but Anthony designed it all. So, but overall, man, this thing looks absolutely amazing. Everyone that's been coming into the shop is really, really loving the blue turf. And I don't think we've actually put the blue turf on a boat yet, have we?
No, I never have.
Nate never has.
Yeah, we always talked about getting it. It was on back order, then it was on whatever, and then there it is actually in person, huh? It's one thing to see it in like a low resolution 720p live stream, but it's a complete different thing to like see it in person. So maybe, hopefully, we got some good camera gear there that'll capture the beauty of the blue turf. Because
we'll do a full walkthrough of it and put on the Tin Can Crew.
You guys got to check out Ryan at Fire and Boats on YouTube and on TikTok. He'll definitely be posting reels on this boat, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And on Instagram.
We'll have a full walkthrough too on the Tin Can Crew channel. So.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nice. So if you guys got any questions about this build, drop them in the comments, man. We're happy to help answer the questions. Nate and Ryan can jump on there. So, or if you have any questions about electric only, if you've never considered running an electric only boat, these guys got some good experience in it, and obviously just got done building this thing. So pretty dang sweet. Let me see here. I guess we do got a question from, and this might be a better question. I know Anthony may be on here or Blake, but in terms of runtime, how much does a charge last?
That is a good question.
Yeah, in terms of a tournament day.
Yeah, I hope Blake's on here. I know that he has no issues. He goes through a whole tournament with the batteries and the motor and running it. I mean, I know he goes all over the lake too. So I don't know the specific details on this particular one, but I know that he really doesn't ever have any issues with it.
Yeah. The cool thing I'm learning about the lithium batteries with the E-Propulsion motors is that it's pretty much a dead-on science to what your usage of your battery is, because really you're just deducting watts. So it shows you on the screen how many watts you're using, and that deducts it from your total, essentially your total amount. So it gives you the runtime on the actual outboard, that little handle right there. It gives you that runtime on there, tells you how much you got left. And then it's not like a gas engine where, like, under certain conditions and load, you're really just dictating how much power you're pulling from the battery. So you can get a much more accurate adjustment on what your length of use is. Like with the Spirit, for instance, with a little 3 horsepower, it's, you got essentially, I remember what it is, 1300. You got 1300 watts to burn through, and it's only based off of how much wattage power you're using. So it's not like a gas engine where it could be variable because of the conditions. It's pretty much, you're using that amount of watts, and you can use it for divided by the amount of hours you have in your battery, and then that's what you get. So it's pretty accurate.
Yeah. They've gone pretty for pretty good links. The respect they do have for your is.
Blake is on here now. He just jumped in on.
What's going on, Blake? How are you?
Comments. So this is Blake's boat, everybody. You see him in
1 hour wide open throttle. So I mean, I think that's pretty comparable, if not more than, I think, a gas tank equivalent, right?
Well,
I mean, an hour at full throttle is pretty serious. Thank you, Blake, for that.
Yeah, and what's the speed?
And the same thing with a 3.0. I think they try to make it as close a comparison to a gas outboard with a fuselage tank inside. And then again with this one with a 9.9, an hour at full throttle. Like if you run a 9.9 on a 6 gallon or a 3 gallon, 9.9 will run forever. A 9.9 4-stroke will run forever. I mean, but on how many gallons? I mean, an hour at full throttle is pretty good.
Yeah, Blake, when you're on
who goes full throttle for an hour?
Let us know what your top speed you were getting. I know, and I guess this is a question, Ryan, for you and Nate, is weight-wise. I know you guys, one of the goals was to reduce the amount of weight in that boat so that it would, obviously you're going to get an increase on the runtime and increase on the speed. So Blake, if you're in the comments watching, let us know what speed you were getting before, obviously they rebuilt the boat. And then Ryan, what your y'all's estimate is for how much weight you potentially cut out of the boat. I know that has to do with batteries too. So,
was it wood before this?
It was aluminum. Blake wanted to switch to turf and dry lids. So actually, what was done before was all good. There wasn't anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Frankie had worked on it, and then Anthony painted it and did some stuff, but you can't, when everything's carpet, it's hard to just convert to turf. So that was the driving factor behind it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Let's see. Blake jumped on. He said that comparable to a 9.9 horsepower outboard, loaded with 2 people, 8.1 to 8.2 miles an hour, loaded down with 2 people. So you can do that for a full hour, fully loaded. I mean, that's pretty dang good for a boat loaded down with two guys and fish. And
I know 8 miles an hour might not seem much to somebody who's used to a gas outboard, but 8 to 9 miles an hour makes you the fastest person on the lake. It's like a real thing.
There's
Anthony will tell you that. Where's Anthony? He should be here.
But they can't really run as
needs to be on our live stream.
We'll get him on the next one. Pelagic Princess, yeah, top speed, 8.1, 8.2. If you got more questions, guys, drop them in here. We got, the owner of the boat is able to jump in the comments, and then we obviously can help answer any questions you got. John Carpinetti's got a great question. And actually, John, thanks for joining us, man. John actually won a gift card from us on our last live, so from the Facebook group. So, John, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I think you got a hat or a decal. I can't remember what you bought from the store, from the TBNation.
I think the only con there, John, is that their higher horsepower just aren't there yet. But I don't know if there's a con for their lower outboards. Like the little Spirit 1.0 thing's kind of unbeatable.
I'd say just in general, the con would be the batteries right now. Like, if you want to be efficient, you got to go lithium, and then the cost goes so much higher.
Yeah, they're high-end outboards that can actually plane a boat or are a pain.
Yeah.
For pros, Georgia, where this boat fishes, the lakes are literally electric only reservoirs. So you can't put any gas motors in them at all. So it's pretty much what you have to run, or unless you want to putt around with a bunch of trolling motors, like I'm going to probably end up doing.
Yeah. I will say the pro also for the electric outboards, if you don't need to plane out and you don't need to get all that speed and you're not doing 20, 30, 40 mile an hour runs to go get to your fishing spots, is, at least for me, I like the fact that there's not really any maintenance. Like, it's a direct drive brushless motor. You don't have to worry about changing your lower unit oil. You don't have to worry about running the gas out of it or throwing Star Bright in there because, letting it sit over the wintertime. Like, it's actually a simple system, and there's not a lot that can go wrong unless you hit something. So I just like the fact that you plug it and play. It makes it easy for a guy who doesn't really care to do outboard mechanic work. So
Put the boat in the water, turn the batteries on, and get.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And a customer Facebook guy on here. If you're on Facebook, so if you're in the Facebook group, put your name in the comment, just because we can't see on our system here, we can't see what your name is on the Facebook deal. So if you're watching through a Tiny Boat Nation Facebook group, so put your name in there. We'll help answer your questions. But the lithium prices are slowly dropping. That is true. But the thing is that they're probably going to stay the same because they're increasing the quality of the lithium batteries. It's not so much like, the price is coming down. The lithium companies are trying to pack as much as they can into as light and small of a package as they possibly can. So you may see the price for the big battery packs go down, but the race is to get, just like Tesla and all these other people, the race is to pack as much energy into as small a space as possible and as light as possible. So I think it's called, maybe some guys out there know, it's called solid state lithium batteries. And apparently that's like the hot new rage with Tesla. And that's kind of what all these electric fish boat companies and electric marine companies are working towards. So I don't know necessarily you're going to see the price come way down in the near future, but you are going to see the run times and things like that continue to get better. So, but yeah. So you guys got more questions? Jump on in.
Solid state lithium, huh? So that's why the current lithium batteries are slowly dropping in price, because they're no longer.
Well, they're getting away. They're moving away. Yeah, they're moving away from. So, like, for instance, that random Chinese company, Mike, that hit you up on Instagram, send you pictures of all them lithium batteries that they're trying to pump out of China. And they're just a bunch of those little lithium packs like that big, all daisy chained together. And they're trying to move away from that and packing it all into one solid state battery, kind of like your drives, your hard drives.
Finally. From
your computer. It's kind of like the same concept. The solid state drive on your computer versus an old school hard drive. But yeah. with that, the cost is probably going to stay the same or go up. So, we'll see. Any more great questions, guys? Keep bringing them on here. Tennessee Jeff.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Ryan, which one did you have?
No, I was just going to say, to hit back on the speed stuff, Chris and I took this boat out before we did any of it, and Chris got 10.2 by himself, and I got 10.1 by myself.
I like it.
Just so you guys
know. Tennessee Jeff, this is a great question. Solar charging system would be helpful.
They have them.
Yeah.
It's just super inconvenient because it takes up a lot of your boat. So maybe if you made a custom bimini top that held the panel, that would probably be your best bet. Or you make some sort of apparatus to hang it off away from anything you could possibly snag a fishing lure on.
Ryan, is anybody in Georgia using a solar charger in those tournaments, or is it or not really?
One guy in the Slay Nation tournaments that Anthony and I used to fish in, they actually hooked one up to their battery for a little while, but I don't really know. They just kind of had it sitting in the cockpit of the boat. It's kind of one of those things that it just takes up so much space. One of the solar panels, the larger it is, the better off you are. So, you're really not going to gain much from a smaller solar panel, really. Like it's not really
No.
going to matter. It's just going to take up space.
You know,
So,
gentlemen, if can you see those skiff style little biminis? The not to interrupt you guys, but you know the skiff style biminis. Before I forget the idea, they're just two fairly modified legs that hang a canopy. It's like a metal frame that hangs the canopy, but there's not a whole lot of legs to it, like a traditional canopy.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What if somebody? What do you think about that, Ryan? Like, would you have enough clearance to run any sort of solar panels on top of that?
That would probably
make a difference, because I know what you're talking about. They had the little fold-out solar panel. It doesn't do anything. Little Torpedo had that like 10 years back, but to have a real layout.
Yeah, the sailboat guys.
For you, I'm not going to do it. Like, but you, Ryan,
You probably have to have something that rolls out on the boat when you're not using it to charge it, like in a campground or something.
Yeah, the sailboat guys are all about that, man. The sailboat guys have the full stuff all the way on the top of their deck, but I mean they're out on the water all the time. They're not like going.
It's also a big boat. A sailboat. When's the last time you saw a small sailboat?
Yeah, they run like 3 to 7 to 10 feet worth of solar panels on those sailboats. So, you know, I think for a fisherman, and especially if you're running this much juice, I don't think a solar charger is gonna be. But I agree with you, Mike. Let's challenge Ryan to make a solar panel setup on the next electric boat.
Oh gosh, how did I just get that?
I mean, I kind of want to do it. I just
you live in the right place to do it, Mike.
If I made an electric setup down here, what would I do with it? Like, I've wanted.
I think
to
it would be different.
I have ideas.
I think
when I see electric boats, I'm
scenario,
like,
if
you know, if I had 48-hour days, I would probably do more things.
If you're using the boat while wanting to charge your batteries, I think would be more difficult than if you're not using the boat and wanting to solar charge your batteries. Does that make sense? Like on the water, it might be a little more difficult. Even if you use one of those beamy top things, like then you're kind of messing up all your casting. So, because that's something that's just right up here in your way at head height, you know?
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't work on a 14-foot boat. 16-foot boat, if you leaned it back far enough, you might be able to pull something off. I mean, we'll have to sketch it out. I got it in my head. When it comes out of my mouth, it doesn't sound that great. But like, if I could just show you in person what I'm thinking of, I think it would maybe work. We'll see.
So here's a great feedback from Ted Ondrish. The Spirit is awesome as well. Can run all day with the battery on a unit that's like a 2.5 gas tank, silent and beautiful. The Navy 6.0 and batteries are really up there in dollars, not dropping. Ted, you're actually exactly right about that, and I was going to mention that on the live. That so for people that don't know, we are a E-Propulsion dealer, but 2, we just found out today that there is going to be a price increase across the board on E-Propulsion motors. So mainly due to the shipping challenges in going overseas and the also the cost of the lithium packs. But yeah, so there's just a lot of challenges going on right now in the world that making prices go up, baby. So if you're looking at getting an E-Propulsion outboard, you probably save yourself a couple $100 by getting it within the next 5 days before those price increases take effect. So let us know. Shoot us a message on the TBNation.net website, and we'd be happy to help you get that locked in before prices start rising. So just an FYI, guys, if anybody's looking at switching to all electric. So, but yeah, Ted, you're completely right. There ain't dropping anytime soon. I don't think any price is dropping on anything anytime soon. Maybe what's election year? What's 2020, 24, 2022?
It's all scam.
But yeah, so let's get some more questions, guys.
Yeah, we have how many minutes left? 10.
You got 10 minutes, Mike? Is that all you got left?
For open questions.
That's all you got left is 10 minutos?
Well, yeah, roughly.
29
roughly.
minutes.
10 minutes is a long time to answer questions, as long as we don't drag on them.
Bruce Callis. Bruce, 48 volt 224s or what?
In this boat,
Yes,
there's
224s, right?
248 connected.
248s.
Yes.
248s in parallel. Yeah. Yeah. Everything on the E-Propulsion system is a 48 volt system. Even the little Spirit is a 48 volt.
Well, he's running 2 gas
Setup.
tanks essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially.
All right. I
Yeah.
thought those were
Yeah,
two
that
24 volt packs. Okay, that looked a little big for 24 volt. I was like, that's really big, but it makes sense.
And they're actually going to
48
get smaller, Mike. Those are the old generation 48 volt batteries. They're coming
for
out
sure,
with new ones
yeah.
that are smaller. So
It better
They're
get
gonna be
smaller.
shaped-
I mean, the price is going up.
Well,
You better just yeah. Good. All right. I'm talking about it like it's my problem. It's not. It's your problem. Like, all right.
Oh, here, Merrick, how many days did it take you guys to build this boat?
it took 3 days to tear everything out from before.
And it's only been in the shop for 9 days, including Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Not bad for a non-crew build. You guys are killing it.
Yeah. That's funny. The let's see here. What else did we get questions wise popping
Is that
in?
John trolling us?
It is.
John. It's funny. All right.
Let's see. Well, I appreciate the comments, guys. Okay, here you go. Here's a good question. Talking about electric, just outboard trolling motors in general. Favorite 12 volt trolling motor. Everybody can give their opinion. Let's start with you, Mikey.
The Minn Kota Edge.
Why?
True
Can't.
story. It's like that's all you need.
Yeah.
If you're not picky and spoiled, which I am, but if I wasn't, but I think the Minn Kota Edge is unbeatable, man. It's the cheapest. I'll get you on the water trolling motor cable steer that you can get. I like broke 3 of them in a year though. I had to like say no more. I kept taking L's. So but other than that, I love that thing, man. It's quiet. This the 55 volt. The 55 pound 12 volt Edge is really quiet on speed 3, speed 4. You talk about creeping in somewhere. Yeah, that's the bigger thing, and it held pretty good in the wind, like not in like extreme wind conditions.
What
in
size
high wind
boat?
conditions? It held my boat. It didn't go very fast, like a whole whopping 2 miles an hour at full speed, but it did hold the boat.
Yeah. What boat did you have that one on, Mikey?
Mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I had 3 on mine. Broke all of them.
All right, you, Ryan and Nate. What your 12 volt trolling motor suggestion? If someone's just looking for a beginner basic,
Straight to an 80-pound thrust Ford Trex. I think the mount is junk.
12 volt.
That's a cheating answer.
You want to talk about who's spoiled here?
It's an honest
blue
answer.
shirt.
It's an honest answer. I think the mounts on the Edge are junk. I don't care for the power drive model. You know, I would go straight.
Forgot about the power drive. I take what I said back. Help me out here, Nate. The 12 volt power drive is better because you can make that thing spot lock ready.
Yeah.
With an aftermarket program.
But it doesn't fit. It depends on your style of fishing, though. You know, the Tarova, the power drive, the Altera. That's an offshore style of fishing. It's not 2 foot deep water fishing.
Yeah.
Well, the Tarova and the Altera are only 80. I think they're only 80 pound and up. They're 24 volt systems and up. They don't make a 12 volt system for that.
Yeah, you're limited on the power drive.
The Altera self launches.
Power drive.
The Altera self launches. A lot of people do like that, especially if you're an older or possibly for whatever reason weaker individual who doesn't like slinging a gator mount. You know, you might want to look at a self-launching trolling motor. It's the only one that does it. Nobody else has a self-launching trolling motor, I don't think, on the market.
Well,
if not, we would know about it, right?
Yeah.
The Altera is the only one that self-launches.
I will say for this guy, if you're
Not
looking
a
at
shallow water trolling motor.
Yeah, if you're looking for a shallow water trolling motor.
You can trim the Altera all the way up.
Yeah,
like
but when you hit something,
cable steer, you can trim the Altera all the way, like out of the water, man. Like it's right there on the water. You can trim it.
So I'll put my 2 cents in here because everyone is a Minn Kota person here. I do like my Motor Guide XI3. It is a 70-pound 24 volt, but they do make a 12 volt version of it. And Nate is 100% correct that if you're fishing in 2 feet of water like him and you don't ever even need to use a dang fish finder, then yes, you don't want a electric steer trolling motor. But if you're like me or Mike and you're out in the middle of the desert and you're fishing offshore, or you're fishing shallow but you're not like constantly looking out for stumps and stuff and muddy water, then the electric steer and the remote control and the spot lock capability of the Motor Guide XI3 for being like the 12 volt version is only like $900 or $1,100, or you get the Motor Guide or the Minn Kota Power Drive, then you add the Pro Nav to it, same price, probably $1,100 out the door total, and you have something that's like an extra person in the boat. I mean, you pretty much have a dang fishing caddy. If you relate this to golf, you have a fishing caddy with you with your spot lock and your course lock and all that stuff. So if you don't have to worry about hitting a bunch of stuff shallow all the time, man, it's the best money you can spend, the extra money to spend to get a spot lock setup with either the Pro Nav addition to the Minn Kota or your Motor Guide with the GPS spot lock capability. Because I mean, it makes fishing so much eeasier, in all honesty. So
they all get noisy though, I guess. I mean,
they do.
They all need a pretty good run. And I'll give this to the Force and to the Lowrance, although they're not completely 100% legit. Their steering, for fully electronic steering, I think that's probably about as good as it gets, right? They both steer within a millisecond or a half second. Half second delay. What would you say the delay is? There's a delay for sure. It's not quite like a cable steer. The only one with like true precision, like on the spot, you touch it, it moves, is an Ultra X, but it's also loud. You don't really get away with a motor. They're all cable assist.
It sounds like R2. It sounds like R2D2 off of Star Wars, man, and the thing running around.
But it was for a full electric steer. I thought, when you just look at the Ghost, I thought it was cable steer. They lied. It's not. It's full electronic, but it's and so is the Force, right?
Yeah.
They're all electronics. They're pretty good. The Force, you can actually remove the pedal and.
Well, the Force
cordless, right?
The Force is electric steer. Yeah, the Force is electric steer.
Is it good, or is there an even bigger delay versus the corded? I wonder. I'll never buy it. I think the foot pedal on the Force is atrocious. It's ridiculous. It's like the worst foot pedal ever. It's got all those buttons. Like, it's got the buttons in the worst place. Like, if you don't look where you're stepping, you'll step on the button. You'll unlock it. You'll make it go forward. Like, I mean, this is not. You charge all that money for the Force, and you should have I don't know. The foot pedal is the crappiest foot pedal of all of them. And I don't know.
It is really it is smooth and quiet.
Show them the foot pedal. You guys have it right there, don't you? Maybe got to do that.
Yeah. But I don't know about I know he uses the wireless pedal on it. I don't know what it does in the water or how loud it is, but.
Well, we had it Ryan on the boat that we fished out of last year in Illinois.
Well, yeah, but that's the same one that almost killed Mike and I.
Yeah, but it's only because the gain settings were too high. The actual I would say the Force is more like an electric steer trolling motor. I mean, it is because it doesn't have a direct cable to the steering column. So, and it has a little bit of delay and lag. But I thought it was pretty smooth, all things considered. Besides the fact that you need to turn down the gain settings on it because or else it'll throw your butt out of the boat in a smaller rig.
Yeah, I wish you would have had it with a proper gain setting. Yeah, I mean, it makes you kind of wonder how that guy was using that boat, right? Like he was driving it that way.
All right, we got some more good questions coming in, guys. I think we beat this dead horse on the trolling motors enough, and we all know that Mike hates the Garmin foot pedal. But we got some more good questions coming in. All right, so Romel, I'm going to get to your question, and then we got another question about Roy's shallow water anchors. So I'll take a quick break here, guys, to mention that we are going to give you guys that are watching the live a little sneak peek to what we got cooking on the TBNation.net parts store. So we're going to be running a aluminum sale on all of Nate's custom dry hatches and all of our aluminum boat building kits, angle aluminum, pretty much anything you need for your boat out of our TBNation aluminum shop. You're going to be able to get 15% off here. We're going to give you guys early access to that for watching the live stream. So all you got to do is just use the code ELECTRIC at tbnation.net and get that 15% off. I don't know exactly how long we're going to be running that, but we wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek and get you guys that discount code, and appreciate you guys watching. So if you want to get your boat build started, hit us up. We also can help you build your boat, whether you're local to Illinois or Georgia, or if you just need some coaching and some help. We do have consultations as well to be able to help you get your boat build started and give you the footing to get started on the right path, so you don't have to waste a bunch of time at the hardware store or spend your hours scouring the internet for crappy information. So we're happy to help you with that. So the code's down below. Just use code ELECTRIC at tbnation.net, and we'll get back to answering y'all's questions. So good question here, Romel. This is on the boat building side of things, getting your project started. So what is the biggest pitfall to be aware of for when starting a build? Starting the build is the biggest.
Not redoing your transom.
Yeah.
And then your subfloor. Transom and subfloor. You can't get past the transom. There's no point to do the rest of the boat. I mean, that we're considering it's an older boat. If it's a newer boat, I guess you could skimp it, although you have to redo it eventually. But when you do a boat like the one we did in Tennessee, that was used and abused and left out in the elements, you just got to cut that transom out. You got to do what you got to do and get it going. And then, I don't know. What did you say? We ripped that transom out, and on the live, I reviewed the live because I was editing the footage recently. And that, the transom was coming in apart in my hands. Like it was done, right? How old was that boat? Does anybody know? 1980s, 1990s?
It said 72 on the little Monarch plate on the bow.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a 70 Monarch, yeah.
So 50 years old, that John boat? 50 years old John boat, huh?
Yeah.
It looked like it was 50 years old, too.
It did. Respect to that boat. I didn't know it was 50 years old. I thought it was not 50 years old. So, hey, I was talking crap about it in my video. Now I feel a little bad about that. Hey, anyways, yeah, that transom was done.
Yeah.
It was done.
So y'all are saying you got to make sure that the building blocks are good first before you get started on your build, because then if you have to rip everything out because your transom's bad or your subfloor is bad, then you're just redoing all the work you just worked so hard on anyways.
Start off with, look over the hole real good before you even start. Don't just start jumping into it, and we all get carried away with our ideas, but make sure that the bones are good first. So
yeah. Makes sense. Well, Romel, that's a great question, because there's a ton of people that we serve that have a boat sitting in their side of the yard and haven't even got started on the project yet. So that is a great question. Another question here. I think I got you on Facebook. Let's see what Kenny is asking here. What do you think about Roy's shallow water anchors? We're all pretty big fans.
We're pretty biased. We might be the wrong people to ask. At least, but we all have them on our boats. If that says anything, except for you, but your boat's too big, I think. Do you even have a transom that you can mount that on, Nick? No, huh?
Well, I do. I just, where I fish, I never, in the canyon lakes out here, I got
the detachable ones. He just sent me some. We'll unbox them a little bit. We'll have to try them on your boat when you bring it down here. If you ever bring it down here.
Yeah, that would be pretty rad. I mean, I could use them in Havasu for sure, because fishing up in the river. But here in El Paso, dude, the only two places I ever get to go, I'm never in less than 6 to 8 feet of water. So wouldn't do too well. But they do. The biggest boat Roy has ran those on is a 26-foot working John boat. He's got two of them on a commercial fishing or commercial crawfish boat or whatever. It's like 26 feet long, man, and it holds that thing just fine. So they're pretty dang heavy duty. So Kenny, if you're looking at grabbing some, let us know. Hit us up on the TBNation.net site. But yeah, we're pretty big fans of Roy. He's a good dude, hardworking guy. Started out of his garage, and now he's selling shallow water anchors to tiny boaters all across the country. So pretty cool story. Similar story to Nate's. Obviously, Nate's doing the boat renovation and all of our aluminum boat kits and all that stuff. But yeah, Roy's a Cajun out of South Louisiana, so he's got them all over the place down there on boats that are getting a heck of a lot more use out of them than most of ours.
Mhm.
So
Those boats go out every day.
yeah, so pretty heavy duty stuff.
Setting a realistic budget and a realistic time frame also before I forgot. I just saw a question here. Staying in budget. Somebody asked if we'll ever stay in budget. What do you guys think about that?
Will you ever stay in budget?
How hard is it to stay in budget? In a project?
Depends on the budget.
No budget. The best budget is no budget?
Yep. Blank check it.
Blank check it. Bust out another 1,000, baby. That's the cost of owning a boat. But for real though, you go for it, Nate.
I said it just depends on your wants and needs. I mean,
Yeah.
If you use your boat 3 times a year, then you're probably on the lower end of the budget. Somebody that fishes out of it 3 times a week, they're probably on the upper end of the budget.
Yeah. One thing I will say is someone commented on here was a pretty good comparison is like you can cut the budget, but obviously your quality is going to go down to a degree unless you're super handy. And then also, the weight too. Like if you're using all aluminum and you're using a lot of the stuff that we're the Gen X kit and stuff like that. Yeah, you're spending a little bit more than making it out of wood and all things like that, but you're also saving on weight. And if you're planning on keeping the boat for a long time, you look at it more as an investment. You're going to flip it in a year or two or get rid of it.
And you're only doing it once.
Yes, true. So, I mean, if you're looking, you're going to hold it for a long time.
I would just like to add on to that. Only doing it once. Well said, Nate. The biggest lie you can tell yourself is that you're going to redo this later. It's a lie. If you have to redo it later, it won't be a short venture, and it won't be an easy venture. Yeah. It's best to do it once. If it takes a few months longer and a few $100s more or whatever, just do it.
That's funny.
I have a boat that is stitched together with like 5 generations of stuff. It's like a Frankenstein boat. I have to redo that. I put mod after mod after mod. I tell you, it's just better to do it just all once. Now yeah.
So Romel had another good question. So Romel, thank you for signing up for a boat consultation. So that's super cool. Saw that come through today. So Romel says he's got a brand new Klamath 14 that he signed up for a consultation. So he's excited to get started on his boat consult. But what do you recommend that we do with the factory seats in the Klamath? So Romel, if you want to add on here, what kind of seating is on there? I'm going to look it up real quick and see if I can
Are they
get
free floating? Or
yeah,
are they riveted all the way down to the hull or welded? Klamath's welded, right? Klamath they're all welded.
I think so. I'm looking this up right quick so we can get a good photo of it. But if you're on here, of course, watching right now, let me know.
I think that's a great question. That's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
If they're welded or riveted all the way down to the bottom of the boat on the floor, then you either need to turn them into ribs, or like what if I would try to do in that situation, if they're all the way riveted or welded, I would turn the front wall into ribs. And I tried to keep the back walls of each of those bench seats, assuming there's only 2.
Mike, I got a good picture. I got a good picture for you guys. It's a pretty awesome little John boat in and of itself, man. Here, I'll bring it up on the screen real quick. So I'll share screen, and here we go. Let's see.
What happened?
And I'm bringing it up. For some reason, it's giving me the crazy.
My eyes.
I know it's giving me the crazy. I'm gonna try and stop the screen, and we're gonna bring that up on Chrome browser. But it's a pretty nice John boat already as it is, dude. It's already a great.
Did he mention whether or not it was all the way down, or are they free floating?
No, it is welded. It is welded to the floor. So I'm gonna bring you guys on here and
I would
show
leave
you.
Dan, then I would leave a 1.5 or 2 inch rise. That's kind of what we do to simulate angle, and then you have like a really good spot there to create your subfloor from.
Yeah, here's
And
the
then I
here's a good
really
picture.
would try my hardest to keep the back wall, at least the back John boat seats. You can generally do something with them. Like 2 walls, I get you don't need 2 walls. That starts to cause problems. But like the back wall of the first bench and the back wall of the second bench, if you can keep those, or if you can keep the front wall too, front wall and get rid of the back wall, turn the back wall into ribs, keep the front wall. They have a pretty good platform. You could make maybe the front wall into rod tube, like guides.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to
Like
keep.
a face-
I don't know. I would try to keep the walls if you can.
Yeah. You guys get a good view of that boat here on the screen?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It is a very nice boat.
Yeah, all welded. Klamath makes a good boat. They're up in Oregon. They're a river running boat kind of deal. They're not a pond hopping boat setup. But I love how it's already set up. I mean, really, adding a deck to it, rod locker. You got a bunch of space already in the second, opening towards the front deck, and then being able to chop out this seat and put in some storage if you want, or jump, throw in a fold down jump seat from Eric. You got a great. This is an awesome platform to get started on a build, man. You got a great little canvas.
Simple, be really happy.
Yep.
Yeah. For sure. So
It's turf.
Yep. All right, I'll get that pulled down off here, guys. Great question, Romel. You'll see an email here shortly from Ryan. You'll be talking with Ryan over here, the redhead in the corner, on our boat consultation. So, and that goes for anyone that's watching. If you guys are getting started on your build, you don't know where to start, or you're hitting some roadblocks, jump on the TBNation.net site and just go to the consultation page, and we're here to help you guys build your boat and get you some solid plans to move forward on it and get it knocked out. So always feel free to give us a holler on there, and we'll be happy to help you. Let's see here. We got a few more minutes left. Mike, how many minutes you got left? You got a couple?
I'm over time already. I was just just hanging out. We gotta get going. Like one more question, and then I gotta go.
All right, one more question, guys. Let's see. One more question. Jump them in here, guys. Let's see. You guys seeing any on your end? Oh, here we go. And Mike, this is a great one actually for you, and Nate as well on the fab side. Have y'all ever made a removable live well setup, like an oval striper bait tank? I'd like to have some type of mount, but would like to be able to remove it when not in use.
Yeah. I have not.
What about that cooler, that Flow-Rite cooler?
Yeah, that was my removable live well set, but then I gave it away. So we never got to see it in action. But I had rigged. Flow-Rite had given us a 2-way valve to mount as a cup. So the through hole fitting was down at the bottom, which would normally go to your aerator pump. So, and then from the aerator pump, I had the Y-gate. So you either buy a little cheap Y-gate from the hardware store, or an on-off valve, like just a linear on-off valve, and you could do it that way. That's the cheapest way. Like through hole, then there's your aerator pump, and then on-off valve, and you could just have that sitting back there. And later on, when you want to drop in a live well or in and out, you would just hook up the hose, and then flip the Y valve or flip the on-off valve. And then there you have water. You have water right there. It helps a little bit better if you use like Flow-Rite fittings, because the quick lock settings, they'll come right on and off. That's how I was going to do it. Had an on-off valve, and then you get the Flow-Rite. You can get a remote on-off valve if you want it on the fly. And I have that in the John Yak. That's not being used right now, but like, then you just quick lock it up, quick lock it off. And so we already do have a video of a portable live well on, but it's not. I got to make another one.
Yeah, it's like a cooler setup more so than like a bait tank.
We do
removable,
need to make
plugged
the
in
bait
boat.
tanks though. We make live well tanks, but we do need the bait tanks where it's a cylindrical spin, so the shad don't get bloody noses running into the walls and they're constantly flowing. So they stay alive. And then we can have other mesh screens that trap the scales, because apparently they choke on their own scales. They're like fragile things. How do they live?
Yeah.
Like looking them the wrong way and then they go south side.
Well, Mike, I know you only got a couple minutes left, so
we do want to do those. When I make the flats boat, we'll do it. Yeah. I think bait tanks are really useful in the flats boat, and then Nate, it just takes the right customer. Then we'll do it.
So Mike, two rapid fire question, because I know you got to get going. So you can jump off when you need to, and we'll wrap it up because I got to get going too. What bit do you use on your router for the turf sea deck material hand routing?
I don't know what it's called.
Well, we'll get back to you on that. Who's asking that question?
I just looked at it. It's like a standard. It's like a standard. It's not very sophisticated. Like I found it at the hardware store.
How about we'll get back to you, Romel. Romel's actually got a boat consultation, so make sure you ask Ryan that. And Ryan,
okay.
We'll have Mike get it the exact bit. Flat cut bit. Chris Simmons is on here.
There he is. Bit. Thank you, Chris. Chris was there. He used it too.
Alrighty. Well, we got a couple more questions that will be more Nate questions, Mike. So you need to get going, dude. I got to get going too. So if you want to jump off, we can wrap it up, man. So.
Peace out, guys. We'll see you later. I'll be going live eventually, Rogue, to give away more Dobbins certificates, but I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. Yeah.
Peace, brother. Yeah, guys, thanks for joining us. We got a couple more questions, couple more minutes. Get your last few questions in. And in the meantime, if you are interested in grabbing some aluminum parts or Nate's dry hatches for your build, let us know. We are going to give you guys early access to our aluminum sale at TBNation.net. Just use the code electric and you get 15% off. But also, you can get 15% off the super sale lids left over from Black Friday. We still got some left that are just one-off sizes. So if you need to grab some of those and you want to save a massive amount of money on your build or your next project, we do have some one-off sizes in the dry hatches. So that 15% off electric code works as well for those. So you'll see those on the main page. Just go to Aluminum Super Sale and you'll see actually those last few sizes left of the one-off Super Sale lids.
There's
so
18 or 19 left. So
18 or 19 left. Okay, awesome. Yep. All right, guys, last few questions and then we will jump off for the night. Let's see here. Another good question. Nicholas Riemann asking, when installing a T-handle onto one of Nate's live well lids, how far from the edge does it need to be?
All right, so it's 2 3/4.
You want to grab one?
Edge of the lid to the center of the hole, and you're going to drill a 2.5-inch hole. That'll fit the white cap locks.
Okay. Awesome. You guys got one on hand you could show maybe by chance floating around?
So from the edge here,
yep,
to the center of the hole is 2 3/4, and it's a 2.5-inch hole.
Okay. Nice. That's awesome. All right, perfect. Let's see here. We got one more question to end the night, guys. What's the weight difference between electric and gas power outboards or gas power setup? So the weight difference between an electric and a gas power setup, like what's, kind of an average or a guesstimate on your weight difference setup in a boat? Say if the 1648, like that boat, for instance.
As far as the overall weight of the outboard and the batteries versus gas in the outboard?
Yeah, man, just just in terms of a comparison. So, I mean,
this motor, I bet this thing's only 40 pounds, 50 pounds. It's not bad, but then I think the 2 battery packs are 80 pounds a piece.
Right.
Mhm.
But they're 40 volts each too. So keep that in mind as well.
And I think you technically only need one, and he's just running two. So you'd be, 130 to 150 pounds for his setup with one battery in the motor versus 125 to 150 pound outboard plus 5 to 10
Gas.
gallons of fuel. And you still need a battery to start it if it's not a pull start.
Yeah, 80, and it's 8 pounds per gallon of fuel, right? So I mean,
Yep.
you're looking at 40 to 60 pounds worth of gas on a full tank. So the electric outboards are pretty impressive when you think about power to weight ratio and stuff like that in comparison. So yeah, man, we'll see. It's going to continue to keep getting better. So that's a cool part about the electric. So that's a really good question, Romel. But yeah, we'll connect with you on Facebook, and then you're going to see a message here soon from Ryan on your boat consult. So we'll get you hooked up, man. So I mean, a great question. Awesome. All right, guys. If we got any last questions, drop them in real quick. But we really appreciate everybody joining us for the live tonight. And if you need anything for your boat, let us know. Drop a note, tbnation.net. We're happy to help, and you'll be plugged right into Ryan and Nate and Mike here and I to help you guys build Dream Boat. So we appreciate it, and I don't think I see any more questions coming through for the night, guys. So much appreciated, gentlemen. We'll catch you on the flip side.
See you later, guys.
See ya.